But if I say invite.
That's what I do.
That's everybody.
So what? That's what you want. Everybody, because it reaches out more people. Why you afraid? Why was afraid?
Oh, no, I thought you was just trying to tag people in our group. I didn't know you was just tagging people.
Oh, man, I'm always looking for more. I'm always looking for the most.
Okay. That's all I thought that was. I thought you just tag people.
Let's go from there.
All right. Of course, you know, I'm hanging out with the world's greatest mentor. Hey, Marcus. We just acquired a property. No money down. I'm like, this guy, if you don't believe it, you got to see him in work. But anyway, we did all the paperwork today. And we got this property. We'll be hanging out over here tomorrow. Put an office or something in it. But anyway, learning this game has been a roller coaster, and it's all good though, because I'm learning a lot of good information, you know, and it's going to stick with me. And it's amazing because when you go out here, you know, you hear about it. You hear about it from other people. You hear about it on the radio. And I'm sure no mentor is teaching them the way my mentor is teaching us. So it's kind of like one of those, yeah, you could train with somebody, but to train with the best, hey, you gotta go for it and step out there, because some people offer you a lot of information, but the way we get the information, I don't think anybody offered the information like he does. So I've become a believer. I've been a believer after the first deal, but in saying that, you know, now we're dealing with a whole different ball game, and it's always different ways of acquiring real estate, and I'm learning them, you know, and this is a different way, you know. But to get out here and get to a property, and I, of course, y'all been here. If y'all been following my page, you've been seeing that that we came to this property maybe about not even a week ago, a few days ago, and now we're here again. And of course, we got the keys, right? So this is it. This is it. And of course, you know, look at the area. We already showed you the area. So this house is in one of the better sections of Detroit. And we actually, I'm gonna do a couple more lives because I've seen a couple of properties over here. It's hard to acquire properties over here, and we already know that the going rate is what, over 100-something thousand. So for us to get this rate, get this house the way we got it, you know, of course you're creating what we want, right? And I'm just looking and I'm like, look at this house. I'm just saying, look at it. It's nothing wrong with it. We've been inside it. The inside is immaculate. All the mechanicals, everything is right, moving ready, right? Y'all went in there. Y'all took a tour with me before. And so we're about to make it do what it do. You're thinking like a bank. You know, we'll get it on the financing. Hey, and no money down deal. Can't ask for more, right? So anyway, here, I'm going to put Mr. Cecil Jones on and let him talk his magic as usual. Work with him.
What's up, people? What's up, people? As you can see, once again, we just closed part one of this transaction right here. I just came back with the person responsible for this property. Got the paperwork right here. Now, I did it differently on this one because no two properties are the same. Right? This is more of a higher end area, so it's not one where we're coming in and doing a rehab. That's pretty much made to go, ready to go. Some cleanup. Could be updated, but these houses going for 200, 250,000, as compared to, I know when John was here with us, John Marshall from Dallas, he said if this house was in his neighborhood in Dallas, it'd be $500,000. I know that if it was in my neighborhood where I come from, it'd be worth at least $750,000. So because of the properties being so low in Detroit, even the high-end properties, to me, are low, right? So next I'm going to focus on an area called Grosse Pointe. Grosse Pointe is where Anita Baker lives. You guys know that from here. That's the creme de la creme. I'm going to go out there and get properties out there too. Those are the $1 million properties out there, right? So we're going to use the same methods to get the properties that I do anywhere, like I've been doing all around this country. And just building my portfolio, building. And now Mary's in on this also, building portfolios. Marcus, building portfolios. Jennifer will be building portfolios. John, building portfolios. John and I are going to do a 43-unit apartment deal in Mississippi. If you don't know, Marcus and I have done a 12-unit deal in Columbus, Georgia. Apartment buildings now, apartment buildings, right? So when we have this whole think like a bank philosophy, and what we're doing is we're doing the same thing that Bank of America does. We're doing the same thing that Chase Bank does. And once again, some people can't believe this because it's not their reality, and that's cool. But my proteges, it's our reality. Like, this is what I do, and this is what I've taught them to do. So, regardless of who believes it or not, I mean, we're actually thinking like a bank, but we're also laughing all the way to the bank, right? So, paperwork right here. Just signed off on different paperwork than I would typically use on this. And if I told you the numbers, that I have on paper here, you would never ever believe it, because I believe that if I went to the worst area in Detroit, what's the worst area?
I don't know.
Give me an area. Come on. What's the hood in Detroit?
Some east side property. I don't know.
Okay, whatever the worst area is in Detroit, I got this for less than they're paying for rent. Less, right? So there's a system and there's a way to do this. And in doing this property right here, because of the strategic way that I line this up, the seller also revealed to me that he has 150 acres of land in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. That we are now going to partner with to build housing in Mississippi. You see, you have to be in the game. You can't be on the sideline. You can't be talking your smack, and even though you don't know what's going on. See, a real player in the game understands that one thing always leads to another. And when this is what you're doing every single day. See, we're not going to banks asking for loan. We're not using our credit. None of that. That's not the way you buy real estate. We're not being landlords. We're creating mortgages and we're selling them off on notes. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And I'm just showing people how to take care of their family. And if somebody's mad at that, there's nothing else to say. We're going to go inside right now. We're going to get the lights changed over, the electric changed over tomorrow, the gas, get some stuff, and I'm going to formulate a plan on an exit strategy. I'm going to take some pictures, came back to take some pictures, and going to just go from there. So the window of opportunity that people have had to come in and learn how to do 6 figures or 7 figures with me, that's gone. But there's an investment side now that you can be private money lenders, where what I do is I help people go from getting a 0.01% return on their money to actually getting double-digit returns on their money. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Stick around. That's what we do. You can reach out to us on Facebook or anyone that you see. But let's go inside now.
All right, yeah. Do it. Nope, you got him. I got another set, but But anyway, so this is what we did right. This house, like I said, if you've been on my page before, you saw the house and you saw the condition that it's in. And all it is, needed a little clean up. And might be in the car. Might need a little bit of cleanup, but that's about it. You know, so in saying that, you know, we just making it do what it do. Hey TT. Hey Anthony, hey Antonia. Yeah, we just making it do what it do. So we've inspected this property, but let me show you the back of it again.
And also,
Hold
I
on.
didn't say what the profit margin was on this because I think that's important to people. Off of this deal right here, on the low end, we'll make 100,000 off of it, and on the high end, the low end 100,000, the middle end 150,000, and on the high end, which would be owner financing, thinking like a bank, would be 600,000. All right. So if you want to know how to do this or be involved with somebody who these keys don't work, who wants to be involved?
Let me see.
They don't work, man. No matter who does this, they don't work. It doesn't turn. That's what this
It's
is about.
another
Like,
side
how
in the
long
car.
would it take the? Okay, my bad.
Oh.
Okay. How long would it take the average person to make $150,000? How long do you got to work? Well, we just did this in about a week.
And Jennifer, this is the property we inspected before we had came out here to it.
Oh,
Before.
Jennifer's on there?
Yeah, she just got off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, close this deal like I do. When I come in, I'm the closer. I'm coming. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. And for those, let me just show, I just want to show the paperwork for people who don't. I'm not going to show the original, but okay. Yeah. Just that top part up there. What does that top part say? Just the title up top.
Lease agreement with option to purchase real estate.
Okay. How much money in this? Goose egg. Goose egg. So this is a done deal. And just a matter of now getting some cleanup in here and getting the utilities changed over. Right? I need to get on that one. That's the trick. Yeah.
Is it dripping? You got it?
Yeah. Loving the hardwood floors.
You see those
4
floors?
bedrooms upstairs, a bedroom in the basement, a fireplace upstairs, fireplace in the basement. Just the.
That's even like in this hallway. Y'all like this door? The decorative door. See, this is a woman's thing, right? Look, got the front hall closet. Look, you ain't coming straight in my house, right? So you got the little door that leads to the door. That leads inside.
So, like, let me turn around on you, right? Let me talk to you. Good to.
Oh.
Okay. So, with that being said, I know you work with the insurance company. You do claims. You know, I've been saying, you know, I don't worry about money and never worried about what's going on in Florida, anything like that. Do you see now, just like real talk, how I've created the empire that I created?
Of course I do. Like I was just saying, you know, you have shown me, so this is like the third different way we acquired a property. So it's different ways of doing it, you know, and no money down is the best way to me because now you get to put whatever money you have if you have to fix it up or whatever. But this one is a no-brainer. It's like already done. You clean it up, you know, if you want to modernize the kitchen or something like that, but a believer has been made, but I told you that after the first deal. And
okay, so on the other deal, we're probably looking at about, the Autobahn deal, we're looking at about, on the low end, $80,000 in profit. On the high end, about $270,000 with the owner finance. And on this one, the low end is rock bottom price of profit will be 100 grand. The mid price will be about 150 grand, and the high price with owner financing would create an income of $600,000. That, of course, will be spread out over time, but that's what it will be able to make when you look at and you talk about amortization and having interest on your investment. But With that being said, how does it feel? Because you know the numbers, you were here during the negotiation. How does it feel when you found out what the value was, what it could be sold, and knowing that, wow, there's at least $100,000. People are, did you make that last year?
No.
Okay, so
No.
to do it, and I mean, it was a week time, maybe from beginning to end, because we had to wait on the guy. But when you talk about the actual effort put in, what, 2 hours maybe?
Yeah.
2 hours to make $100,000 on the low end, $150,000 on the middle end, and 600, possibly potentially 600,000 on the other side of it. Yes, that deserves some hearts, absolutely, right? So the thing is, like, how does that feel, knowing that, like, with that profit potential right there?
That's just it. You know, when you want to do something and you have the right person in your circle to help you get there, I knew it could be done. I mean, people do it, but to know and to be a part of, and the way that it's done, when you got no money down on a deal and you just gonna walk away with like a profit range like that, who does that? Like you said, I didn't even make that all last year. Probably last couple of years, but but anyway, in saying that, you know, so it's always good to get in where you fit in, but not only that, to know that it can be done and to experience it. So it's like one of those, you can hear about it, but until you actually in that space. And I remember when you first came, you was like, I'm about to do this. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, people have tried, but this is what you do. And if you're training with the right person, like I said, there's always classes going around, but I'm certain they're not getting the information that we get or that I've gotten or that I've received from you. I mean, it's like amazing. I attended a seminar the other day, and of course they're paying for it, but I'm certain that they're not going to be, the way that you put the deals together is kind of different. And the only way you can be in is to know. So I don't know.
There's some questions up there. Jennifer just asked a question. I'm going to answer that question for her. What's the question that she just, first she asked if it was vacant,
she
right?
said, what's the monthly payment?
Okay. No one's going to believe this because, like I said, the payment on here, if you're in the worst section of Detroit, in the worst hood in Detroit, I'm telling you that the payment here is cheaper than somebody renting a property in the worst section of Detroit.
No,
now,
the payment is less than the storage unit. So you're storing your stuff.
So I'm going to, you know, I mean, those of you who know me, who are in the group with me, you know already, just come back over here. You know already that if I say something, that's what it is. We don't need to know the address, but if you look down here on the terms right here, Jennifer, that's the payment. Yes, that's correct. No mistake. That wasn't an error. This house, one of the best areas in Detroit, right? $145.13 a month. Listen, my price may go up. My coaching fee may go up to $100,000 now, because I know that I can help you do one deal for $100,000, right? So that's what it is. I mean, you know, you're gonna have haters. You're gonna have people who, no matter what I do, no matter what I show them, they're not going to believe it. They gotta have something to say negative, that this can't be true. It's gotta be whatever, man. I've been feeling. Look, this is how I turned my bank account to look like my phone number. So this is all that we do, and you know, I'm gonna keep doing. I'm never gonna stop until the day I die, and I'm gonna keep teaching other people. I'm gonna teach the members who have come into the group with me how to do it, and then the people that invest with the finance, with the private money side, we're gonna make a ton of money together too. See, but I'm not going to take a whole bunch of people on that either. I'm going to close the door on that also. I'm looking for probably about, 10 good people. 10 good people who want to make some money with me, that want to make double-digit returns, you know, that want to make anywhere from 8 to 15% return on their money, backed by properties like this out in, what is this? Rosedale Park in Detroit. Look it up. But with that being said, we're just going to take some pictures in here. I'm going to really strategize an exit plan. I'm going to get the lights changed over, get the electrical, whatever, the gas, whatever, changed over, and do a little bit of cleanup in here, and get ready to do some negotiation with the bank, right? There is a small mortgage on it, a really small mortgage on this one, and just negotiate like I always do and close them like I always close them. All right. So that being said, you got that.
Anyway, of course, back to me. So anyway, this partnership is real. The things that he does is real. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. I've been there. I've experienced it on each end. So in saying that, people could talk and not really know what's going on or whatever. But this is the third way I've seen a property that has been purchased or retrieved or, and it's so many different ways of real estate, and if you have that constructive way of putting things together and you have the right person, then, the opportunity is limitless. And the experience has been amazing. And like I said, when you're doing your due diligence, and you just going around and you making things happen, then it's worthwhile, and thinking like a bank, who doesn't want to own a property and, like you said, be Bank of America, and they paying you, and you getting all this monthly income coming in for properties that you got for next to nothing or nothing in this instance, who don't want to pay that kind of money. But anyway, look, this is as they said, this is a walk-in closet. Now, this is the first room upstairs, right? It's a walk-in closet, built-in shelves. But here's the closet. And this may be like a little dressing room. Come on now. This is like, wow. Then you go over here to another room in which they transformed into like a den, But it was a bedroom.
Yes.
It's a bedroom. And then you go back here, right? Yeah. Then you're coming in. And then another bedroom. Big, massive, right? Then you go into this room. Another bedroom. And then you got this bathroom. I'm loving this house. So, in saying that, it's one of those things that people, they just didn't want the property no more. So what we do, we're going to come over, take it over, and it's going to belong, or it does now, belong to us. So, look, walk-in closet. So, we, when you learn something new and someone show you, it's easy to say it, but when they start showing you, then you make a believer. And I'm a believer. Believe me, I'm definitely a believer. So to acquire a property like this in the area that we're in is just amazing, and when you're sitting there and you the value of such a property, then it just makes you want to work harder, because there's other properties out here just like this. People just don't want them. And I know that's going to push me harder, because this came to me just through marketing. And the guy just called up. Hey, I'm trying to get rid of a property. Don't want it. So in saying that, hey, yeah, allowed it to do what it do. So, but this house, and then of course y'all saw the backyard, right? Y'all saw the porch. So, look, just outside. It's kind of chilly out there today, though. 2-car garage. Look at the yard. Nice size yard with a back porch. So, who wouldn't? That's what I say, who wouldn't? So, anyway, we're going to take some pictures, but I wanted y'all to go around with me again to realize, dang, this is a property they got for nothing. Who wouldn't? Anyway, you have anything to say? All right. Well, I'm done. Anyway, bye for now.